All right, today we want to welcome Coach Pennell, defensive coordinator for the Peru State Bobcats, to the show today. Coach, thanks for being with us.
Thanks for having me.
Yes, no problem. Coach is going into his second year as the defensive coordinator. The Bobcats are coming out of their bye week. Coach, I want to spend just a little bit of time talking about it, not too much. Let's talk about Hastings. So, Bobcats allowed no points in the first half, gave up no points in the first half. Hastings had the ball for 10.5 minutes. They were 4 for 9 on third down conversions, and you guys were able to force 3 punts in the first half. What did you see out of the Bobcats that first half, and what'd you tell the guys at halftime?
Basically, in the first half, we saw a lot of guys playing with great effort. And defensively, we saw a lot of guys, 11 guys on the field playing together. So we had 11 hats to the ball, and guys getting to the ball with some good intentions and made some things happen. So going in the half, we kind of wanted to just make sure we stuck with our game plan of keeping everything in front and getting everybody to the ball and making some things happen when we get there.
So second half, offensive kind of slowed down, and Hastings ended up scoring 25 unanswered points. What was going through your head as this was happening? What were you telling the guys? Explain what happened on the defensive side of the ball.
Basically, we weren't winning on first down as much as we did in the first half. And a lot of those third down situations that we got ourselves into were third and short situations, and situations where they just, flat out beat us or maybe caught myself in a bad call. But, I think it came down to they had a few more guys that were used to being in that position, whereas we got a bunch of guys that haven't really had to step up and make that stop to kind of put the game away. So just a little experience versus inexperience, and we've been working to clean that up. So
Miles Hicks went down early on in that game. Describe the impact that kind of had on the defense as a whole.
It hurt big time. Booby, his nickname Booby, tried to stay in the game and be a vocal leader as he has been all fall camp. Obviously he's voted one of our captains, so one of our strongest leaders, and he did everything he could without being in the game to keep us in it. But obviously when you lose arguably your top defense lineman or one of your top defense linemen, it leaves a pretty big hole. And after that, we were just trying to make sure we kept guys fresh and had the right guys in there that can get the job done to kind of fill in his place.
Speaking of captains, Stephen Bowers was named one of the defensive captains, and he had a pretty solid game. What were your thoughts on his performance?
Oh, it was awesome. It was nice to see him flying around like that. When his effort is there and he's locked in like we know he can be, he's arguably the top defensive player in our conference, and I'll put that against anybody. And that's what he brought to the table that Saturday, and we look forward to him bringing it to the table every Saturday.
So you guys headed into the bye week actually quite early this season. We usually have it around the 6th, 7th game of the season. Describe how the Cats spent the bye week. What did you guys do? How was practice and everything?
It was nice for us defensively. It allowed us to keep working on our install. So for us, our package going into Hastings game was fairly small, so it allowed us to get maybe some more looks in and then focus on some situations that we didn't execute as well against Hastings. So hopefully we clean that up going forward.
What's the mood going into week 3 against Central Methodist?
We're excited to have another opportunity to kind of put Hastings behind us. We all know we kind of let one get away, and so we're all looking forward to getting everything back on the right track and hopefully getting a win and getting this thing going again.
What's the status of Booby?
We don't know yet. We're still waiting to hear. Just taking it one day at a time. And we've got some other guys stepping up, but he's not the only guy that's banged up, so we'll be fixing it as we go.
Definitely. So we're headed into CMU week. We're in the past 5 years, we're 4-1 against the Eagles. What's the game plan going into week 3 versus Central Methodist?
The big thing that we talk about on the defensive side always is playing your best game every Saturday. So everything we do in practice during the week over the bye week was trying to get us to the point of where we're playing our best game this upcoming Saturday. So that's the goal this weekend and every weekend going forward. So.
Lastly, Coach, here, what are just, as we head into the rest of the season, competitive schedule as always, What are some goals that you have for the defense, just long term and every week?
I mean, I think there's always those, long-term goals in terms of being in the top 3 and all the defensive categories, you can name it and everything. But like I said, we really focus on trying to take things 1 week at a time and playing our best game every Saturday. I think if we can really focus in on playing our best game every single Saturday, we're going to be pretty tough to beat.
Coach, I want to thank you for joining us on the show here today. It was a pleasure having you, and best of luck this week in practice and ultimately this Saturday against CMU.